Good evening. I'm Leila Feinstein.
And I'm Carlos Amezcua. This is Prime News.
He was a television icon, a legend, our anchorman and our friend. Hal Fishman meant so much to his viewers, and he was very special to those of us who had the privilege of working with him. As many of you know, Hal passed away early this morning.
Hal died from colon cancer at his home in Brentwood, surrounded by his family and special loved ones. He was 75 years old. Hal Fishman dedicated his life to delivering the news like no one else could.
This is KTLA News at 10 with Hal Fishman.
Good evening. In a dramatic ending to a day full of extraordinary surprises, O.J. Simpson surrendered to police tonight. Good evening. A terrifying gun battle erupted following an attempted bank robbery today, turning North Hollywood into a war zone.
Well, it is now 10 o'clock. It's a little over 16 hours since the United States of America became the victim of an unspeakable terrorist attack.
As predicted, this presidential election is one of the closest races in recent memory, and it's not over yet. It does appear, however, that Ohio is the key to who will be the next president of the United States.
He was the longest-running news anchor in the history of television, with a career in broadcasting that started in Los Angeles back in 1960. Hal Fishman made his first appearance on television at local station KCOP.
I was a young professor at the State University, California State University, and I was asked to teach a course in the summer of 1960. I said, no, I don't want to teach a course on television. I understand those lights are hot, and I was finishing my doctorate at the time. I was planning to go to Australia. So they finally talked me into it. I did it for just part of my college salary. And I started June 20th, 1960. And consequently, what I didn't know was that the show was getting a rating.
After a successful run there, Hal Fishman was hired by Gene Autry as a news anchorman at KTLA.
In 1965, I came to KTLA. I was sitting in the Red Roulette Room, a bar on Sunset Boulevard in Gene Autry's Hyatt House. And I finished the news there, and I guess we were about 1 o'clock in the morning. And a man and a woman came down, and she said, "Oh, aren't you Professor Fishman?" And I said, "Yes." She says, "I'm Ina Autry. This is my husband, Gene." And he said, "You know, we just bought KTLA. And we'd love to have you on our news."
And it marked the beginning of a long dynasty at KTLA, unprecedented in the television news industry. During his long and brilliant career, Hal has reported on all the major international, national, and local news events, including the assassination of Senator Robert Kennedy in Los Angeles.
He has been shot, along with one or two others.
The historic visit to Los Angeles by Pope John Paul II in 1987.
The Pope is now going to the Registry Hotel, just a few steps away, and there he's going to have a very important meeting with communications leaders.
The Northridge earthquake that struck in 1994.
Stand by, Steve, we just got a big shaker right here. Everything is going really big.
This is the
See if you can get a shot of that. Move up there and get a view of those lights. Because it would be on the way if it's hitting from the San Fernando Valley. We'd get it before they did.
The devastating terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001.
Earlier this evening, President Bush addressed the stunned nation, assuring Americans that those responsible will be punished and democracy will prevail.
Hal reported on the dangerous brush fire that swept through Griffith Park this past year.
Firefighters are still battling a brush fire in Griffith Park tonight, but they appear to finally have the upper hand.
Hal won 2 coveted Peabody Awards, the first in 1965 for coverage of the Watts riots, and later in 1991 for the Rodney King beating story.
The Los Angeles Police Department has launched an internal investigation tonight following allegations of police brutality.
Hal Fishman led the KTLA team in breaking the story that received worldwide attention and became a milestone in television news coverage. Hal was the recipient of the Governor's Award from the Los Angeles Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. In 2002, he was presented with the first Lifetime Achievement Award from the Associated Press, TV, and Radio Association.
I feel that we are in a profession that is so much a part of America that it is as important as the legal profession, the medical profession, or teaching to bring information to the public is the essence of a democratic society.
He was also named Best News Anchor for 3 consecutive years, and he has won many Golden Mike, AP, and Press Club awards for his nightly commentaries on Prime News. As his viewers well know, Hal was a dedicated pilot. He holds 13 world records for speed and altitude. He also covered news stories for KTLA flying his personal Beechcraft turbocharged Bonanza, and that distinction earned him the title of the Flying Anchorman and the Flying Professor. Because of his avid interest in flying, Hal co-authored 2 novels with his friend and fellow pilot Barry Schiff, Flight 902 is Down and The Vatican Target.
A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame goes to the Flying Professor, Hal Fishman.
Hal Fishman was honored with his own star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. The event was attended by his KTLA colleagues, LA officials, family, and friends. And 7 years ago, on the occasion of his 40th anniversary in television, KTLA dedicated its newsroom the Hal Fishman Newsroom in recognition of his devoted service to the station and community. And more recently, on July 31st of this year, his 47th anniversary in television, Hal was honored for his outstanding accomplishments in television news, his dedication to his profession, and his strong sense of responsibility and loyalty to his viewers. During a recent article about his career, Hal Fishman said he always wanted to leave his viewers saying to themselves, "He told me the news like it was. He told me what I wanted to know. He told me what I needed to know."
And that's KTLA Prime News. I'm Hal Fishman. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
It was just 8 days ago when Hal sat next to me at this desk and did what he loved to do, report the news of the day.
Prices at the gas pump are easing nationwide. Average gas prices have fallen about 17 cents over the past 2 weeks.
We had no idea that last Monday would be the final broadcast in his legendary career. Hal never complained or mentioned anything about the pain he must have been feeling. Memorial services are still pending. The family asks that in lieu of flowers, please send donations to the American Cancer Society, colon cancer research, and education.
The viewer email we've received on our website has been overwhelming, and throughout this broadcast we'll share some of these emails with you. So many of the messages expressing grief, not only over the loss of a great man, but also for the loss of a great journalist. Will Cashman wrote, "When I moved from Glendale to Michigan, I got a satellite service just so I could get the real story of the world from Hal. I have watched KTLA every day for that trusted journalist that was Hal Fishman. Hal, you have always reached for the sky. Now on your final flight, may you be with God, and may God be with your family and friends."